Roll call.
Neal. Here. Carlson.
Here.
Lewis.
Here.
Zittergren.
Here.
Hadley.
Here.
And Johnson is absent.
Okay. Public comment. We've got Black Hills Energy. You want to come up and say your name? And
Hello. I'm Nicole Breitbach, and thank you, Mayor Borowski and City Council for having us here today. I'm the Community Affairs Manager with Black Hills, and with me is Ivan Hackman, our Operations Supervisor, to help answer any questions. Each year we like to come before Council just to share a little bit about our community involvement and some new initiatives that we have at Black Hills Energy. Most recently, we just released our 2020 Sustainability Report, and knowing the interest around sustainability in the City of Decorah, we'll primarily be sharing that with you today, but also invite future questions about other initiatives that we have going on. We're very appreciative of our partnership with the City of Decorah and enjoy all the relationships with the various city departments we work with. Black Hills Energy, we've been serving customers for over 135 years, and we serve 1.3 million natural gas and electric customers across 8 states in 800 communities. We are one Black Hills with shared corporate services and a diverse workforce and broad experience. But you're probably most familiar with our Iowa gas utility. Black Hills Energy, we're more than just an energy provider, we're a community partner. And our nearly 161,000 utility customers live in 133 communities throughout Iowa. Black Hills Energy owns and maintains approximately 2,862 miles of pipeline mains and 164,057 natural gas system service lines across Iowa. In Iowa, we operate primarily a distribution system with less than 100 miles of transmission pipeline. On the next page here, you'll see some of our 2020 corporate responsibility. We supported Iowa with $48 million in direct economic impact across the state, which includes charitable giving, compensation to our 240 Iowa employees, payments to suppliers, and property sales and use taxes paid. In Decorah, we're proud to contribute our employee energy through volunteer efforts along with charitable contributions. We support nonprofit organizations and city projects through 4 key giving priorities of responsible energy and environmental stewardship, education and workforce development, strong communities, and helping people. Our team of employees serves on the mutual aid fire departments in surrounding areas, Rotary, Winishi Economic Development, and more. While the COVID-19 pandemic may have altered some of our in-person volunteer efforts, we looked for ways to be creative in giving back and supported areas of greatest need through our partnership with Energy Assistance at Northeast Iowa Community Action Agency, as well as food pantries, organizations, and had a focus on supporting those that were financially impacted the most. The photo, if you go back up, the photo shown here, that is our team helping at the Clayton County Food Shelf. Every year we pack holiday meals for over 300 community members. And a few other things we have coming up with our strong partnership with the Decorah Fire Department. We are going to be offering a natural gas fire safety demonstration in October, and that's something, more information is going to be coming, but we invite you guys to all come and see that event. It's just a really kind of neat way to see what our system can do and kind of some of the fire department in action. And while this page shows our community impact in a variety of sectors, the number that I like to show that stands out to me the most is always the 189,000 in contributions, sponsorships, and scholarships that were given to over 100 worthy organizations across the state. Moving to the next page, kind of getting into a little bit of our sustainability strategy that I was mentioning, it calls for a 50% reduction of natural gas emissions by 2035. For our electric operations, our strategy is 40% reduction of greenhouse gas emissions by 2030 and 70% by 2040. Throughout 2020, our numbers that we just released, we did advance our climate goals by achieving 33% reduction in natural gas emissions and 30% corporate-wide reduction in greenhouse gas emissions for the electric utility. These numbers are kind of from our 2005 baseline levels, so we still have some room to go, but showing some progress that we've made. Some of the strategies that we have to achieve these goals, we have voluntarily joined the EPA Methane Challenge, and that challenge, we're committed to 3 primarily best practices, which looks at our distribution mains replacement, distribution services replacement, and then excavation damages. We operate a modern gas system with no cast iron pipe since 2014, and with nearly 99% of infrastructure comprised of materials that have the lowest emission factors. In Iowa, we've replaced all known unprotected steel, PVC main, and top-of-ground distribution. We're also voluntarily a member of the One Future Coalition, and that looks at reducing our methane emissions across the natural gas value chain to limit emissions to less than 1% by 2025. A renewable natural gas, that's something we're also working on. We currently have 4 RNG projects across the company, with a 5th one getting ready to go in service in Dubuque at the landfill here in the next month. We also contributed to the landfill study with the Winishi Economic Development. We just got those results, and we're really excited to look through those and partner more with them. But renewable natural gas is an ultra-clean, ultra-low-carbon natural gas alternative, and the digestion of solids in the wastewater that goes to the facilities, it produces a methane, which is the powerful greenhouse gas. Instead of flaring off this gas, we then take it, monitor it, and verify it before injecting it back into our pipeline for our customers. Energy efficiency is another strategy I'll talk a little more about. Emerging technology, our team's always looking for ways to advance our operational practices, also with alternative fuels. And one of the recent projects we just did here in Decorah was our GIS mapping of the underground infrastructure. This will allow us to be prepared for future needs of the community. And then finally, damage prevention, which is a really big one for us. Year-round, we communicate the importance of damage prevention, the importance of calling 811 or visiting Iowa One Call before any project where you're digging. This not only keeps our communities safe, but it supports emission reduction. And we regularly visit our excavation sites to build strong relationships with the crews so that they feel comfortable calling our team. And we're always looking for ways to partner with these crews or with the city to help reduce damages. As I mentioned, energy efficiency, for 2021, we have a budget of $1.8 million for the Iowa Gas Program, with a goal of reducing the energy by 204,000 therms, and that impact is if you had the equivalent of a car driving 2.7 million miles. Our energy efficiency efforts over the past 3 years have resulted in 1.7 million therms of energy savings, so the equivalent of taking 2,000 passengers off the road. Those numbers were figured by the EPA website calculator that's on the screen. Our program consists of 4 major areas. It's residential, commercial, income qualified, and school education. And for both residential and commercial customers, we do offer rebates and incentives for new builds and retrofits. And then we also have the ability to create kind of custom programs for ones that don't fit neatly into any of these categories. We also have a long-standing commitment with Trees Forever. We've partnered with them since 1992. We've planted over 82,000 trees, and applications are due for this program by November 1st. So if anyone in the community is looking to get some more trees, I would really heavily encourage you to apply at the Trees Forever website. We're committed to a cleaner energy future that builds upon responsibility, for us to provide reliable, safe, and affordable energy to our customers. Recently, at our request, we partnered with a company called GTI, which is an independent energy and technology resource nonprofit. They looked at the greenhouse gas reduction assessment for 6 of our largest natural gas customers, and one was the city of Decorah. So in the essence of time today, I'm going to give you a little snapshot of what some of those results looked like, but if you see that website right there, the full report is available online to the city, to the public, whoever wants to view that. But would like to have more conversations around some of those energy findings with city staff or whoever would be interested. So if you go to the next page, during cold Iowa winters, it's no surprise that natural gas is the primary space heating source for homes in Decorah. Across the U.S. residential sector, substantially more energy is used for space heating than it is for cooling, especially in regions here like Iowa. And you can see from the graph on the left there that 79% of homes here in Decorah do use natural gas for their heating mix. And then on the graph on the right, you can see the spread actually of the heating to cooling degree days in Decorah, and there's a 7-to-1 difference. That means that it's more days that we're heating our homes than days that we're cooling our homes, and I think, again, that's probably no surprise because of some of the harsh winter weather we have here in Northeast Iowa. So I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today. I know that was a lot of information kind of condensed into 10 minutes. We hope that you'll look at our 2020 sustainability report. It is on our website, as well as, like I said, this GTI study is available to the public as well, and then we welcome follow-up and future conversations. So with that, I'll open it if you have any questions.
Well, we know you've been working in the community, that's for sure. I can see it in up and down where they've been burying stuff.
Yep.
What kind of questions does any of the council have for any of that? And if you haven't met, you've met Ivan. Ivan's been here before. He's local representative too. Okay?
Well,
Well,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much.
much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Is there anybody else who wishes to speak to the council on anything that is not on this agenda? Seeing none. Consent agenda.
Item A, minutes of the August 16, 2021 meeting. Item B, claims. Item C, new Class C liquor license for the Haymarket, including Sunday sales. Item D, renewal of Class E liquor license for Backwater Spirits, including Class B wine, Class C beer, and Sunday sales privileges. Item E, new Class C liquor license for Skyline Lanes, including Sunday sales. Item F, renewal Class C liquor license for Walmart Supercenter, including Class B wine, Class C beer, and Sunday sales privileges. Item G, renewal of Class C liquor license for Coriana, including Sunday sales. Item H, renewal Class C liquor license for the Landing Market, including Sunday sales and outdoor service area privileges. Item I, renewal of Class C liquor license for Impact Coffee, including Sunday sales. Item J, renewal of Class C liquor license for Magpie, including Sunday sales. Item K, resolutions 3213 approving authorized financial signers for banking purposes. Item L, resolution 3214 accepting the annual fiscal 21 street finance report. Item M, resolution 3215 setting a public hearing for consideration of the proposed 2020 redistricting map for October 4th, 2021. Item N, change order number 2 for Oneota Drive Bridge replacement, a deduct of $9,591.05. And item O, change order number 1 for the Pole Line Road Bridge project, a deduct of $47,318.70. Not often we see 2 deducts, even one sometimes, but
Yes.
yeah, well, October 4th is the Monday.
Okay.
If I'm
I'd
not
move the
mistaken.
consent.
I think October 4th, you want to look in the calendar there?
Yes, it is a Monday.
Yeah, Monday the
October's,
4th. Yep.
okay.
So, yeah.
So you had it right to begin with. Okay.
I'd move consent agenda for adoption.
Second.
Moved by Luce, seconded by Carlson. Any further discussion?
I just want to say that I see that some of the investors in Skyline Bowling are here in the room and just want to acknowledge them and say thanks for the investment in the community. We're excited to see what you do.
Okay, roll call.
Luce,
Aye.
Carlson.
Aye.
Neal.
Aye.
Hadley.
Aye.
Chisel. Sittergren.
Aye.
Conduct public hearing to consider granting of an easement for the Dry Run Recreation Trail Project to Winishi County. Can I give some background on that, please?
Okay, so this is, before I turn it over to Jeremy and/or John, this is an extension of the project we did a few years ago for that culvert that went under Highway 9, and it's to connect the Prairie Farmer Trail to our trail system. And so if you have something else, anybody has anything else, John, Jeremy, that you would like to add to that?
Go ahead.
Oh, you covered it. Yeah, I think, is it item 10 shows a map
of the location. It's for a bridge for the proposed dry run trail, which is ongoing in planning efforts right now. So it's be an easement for the construction of the bridge as well as permanent access for the trail once it's complete.
Right. One
Okay,
more step.
I'll open the public hearing. Is there anybody who wishes to speak to this item? Please step up to the podium, state your name and address. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Consider resolution 3212 approving an easement with Winishi County for the dry run recreation trail.
I'd move 3212 for adoption.
I'll second.
Motion made by Lou, seconded by Neil. Any further discussion?
I think this is important to go ahead and continue the process we started when we built the culvert underneath 52 and approve that, even though there was some speculation that it would never come. It's getting there, so congratulations to us, the community and the county for
And they got
moving on with it.
And they got a $25,000 grant I saw, so that's good.
Thank you. Roll call?
Luce.
Aye?
Neal.
Aye.
Carlson.
Aye.
Hadley.
Aye.
Chisel. Zittergoon.
Aye.
It's a shout out night, so Barb, I see in the back, thank you. You're doing a lot of work for this. It's amazing.
Definitely.
Very good. Thank you for coming. Okay, Mayor, Board, Commission appointments, planning and zoning. This job is one of the jobs of mayor that I don't care particularly much for. I think I remember the first time I had to do that, I came and said, well, let's talk about this. And we said, well, no, Lorraine, you're supposed to appoint. We did have 2 applications. One is from Holly Riley and one from Martin Refsall. They were in the Dropbox. And I think my quandary was looking for gender equity, but I also, when I've looked at different appointments, I've looked at who I feel would be perhaps more qualified to be on whatever board or commissions that we're certainly talking about. I have talked to both of them. I've also talked to individuals in the community as well. That being said, I am going to make I'd like to propose Martin Refsall, and the reason I'm going to state that is because of some of the business experience he's had, the financial analysis, also the fact that he talked about data-driven. This has not been an easy decision for me. So I guess I will present it to the council and they can chime in. At any rate, I hope that at some point Holly would apply again for a commission, but I feel that Martin at this particular time would be a better candidate.
Yeah, Mayor, I appreciate the struggle or whatever that you had. It was not an easy decision, and it's always good to have 2 good candidates, but that means you have to say no to a good candidate. I'll remind you that you once said no to me and said that you hoped I'd find another way to get involved in the city, so maybe Holly's got a big future ahead of her too. She's a good candidate. I'm excited about what Martin's gonna bring, so.
I did look in the code to see if you can't expand the P&Z, but that was not an option.
I think,
I'm just gonna go on record and say I disagree with the movement. I looked at both of their applications. Holly seems to be a lot more involved in our community from a personal standpoint. I think she's got better contacts around, and through that you can get more information than looking at a computer and being data-driven.
Okay.
I guess I'll just offer up my 2 cents. I know that it's important that we're looking for things like gender equity, but I also think that qualifications matter, and I do think for P&Z, we have said many times that we are also, there have been other people who have been appointed that we're looking for backgrounds and that fit sort of the idea of development and what that means in business, and Martin certainly brings that. I also know that Martin is someone who is keenly interested in being involved and has been very active in pursuing this. Even before there was an opening, I know that he had contacted me, and I think others on the council as well, in terms of how can I get involved in the city? Where do you think my skill sets would fall most appropriately? And so I think it's a good decision to go with Martin, so thank you.
I think it's also good to have, obviously gender equity, but a diverse age range. And I know Martin is probably the youngest, would be the youngest on P&Z as well, so I think it's good to have a nice diverse range of ages as well.
I'd
Al?
move acceptance of Martin's nomination.
Second?
Motion made by Luce, seconded by Hadley.
Mhm.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Luce.
Aye.
Hadley.
Aye.
Neal.
Aye.
Carlson.
Aye.
Chisholm. Zittergren.
Aye.
Okay. I know that Martin is here, and Greg will be getting information to you in a timely fashion, and I will continue to converse with Holly as well, as I feel that she would bring benefits to any number of boards or commissions that we have. Then the other is Historic Preservation Commission reappointments. There are 3 board members who have said that they would continue, and that's Diane Scholl, Haley Jackson, and Mark Branham.
I'd move to accept and thank them for their voluntary reappointment.
Luce would second.
Motion made by Hadley, seconded by Luce. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Hadley.
Aye.
Luce.
Aye.
Carlson.
Aye.
Neal.
Aye.
Zittergren.
Aye.
Chisholm.
I will make note that I had heard just in the last day or so that Steve Kelsey, I think that's his last name, who has been on the Historic Preservation Commission, is moving to Spillville. That's
Travis
their
is buying his house.
Yeah, that's right. At any rate, so there'll be another opening that'll be coming up, so. Okay, Wanda?
Okay, several things. First of all, the Sugar Bowl. They were going to have their sock hop, I believe it was on August 27th, and had to be canceled because of the rain. So they have rescheduled that to September 22nd. I didn't think it necessary to, fill out new forms and go through that whole process again. So they've just rescheduled it to Wednesday, September 22nd, if that's acceptable with everybody. And then, okay, so the auditors were here a few weeks ago at the beginning of August, and I talked to Amanda Webb. She is one of the auditors who is regularly here. And I told her that I wanted some kind of review, audit, if you will, of our books at the time I leave, and if she would put together what she felt were the important things that they should look at when I leave. I mean, I think for me, it's important that residents, council, staff, everybody knows that under my watch, everything was done appropriately. That's important to me. And I think any time, quite frankly, that your finance officer leaves, you should do that. So anyways, she has given me a list of items that she thinks it's important for them to check. I have not got a price from her yet, but nonetheless, it won't be a full-scale audit like they're doing right now, but I do think it's important that we go through this process upon my leaving.
Wanda, I have no issue with it. Is that common practice, though, typically, or not?
I don't know.
I do. The only thing I remember is when,
Right?
well,
I just meant other communities,
Honestly,
we're
I don't
having
know.
a full audit right now, right?
We're having a full audit for the last year. that's why, I mean, I think it's a lot to expect them to do a full audit.
Right.
So it's a list of, and I can go through the list with you of what, she thought were the things that they should be looking at.
I'm just wondering, is there a way they can just take from the audit they do right now, so they don't have to go back through everything, but just from now till when you leave? If there's a full audit right now of everything, right?
Yeah, but that's for the last year.
Okay.
I want it done from July 1 through, I mean, it'll have to be the end of the month.
From July 1, so, yeah, you're not talking the last year and July. You are looking essentially what I'm asking for.
Right, I'm
July to
just talking
October.
July
Yeah.
through, if I leave then in November.
Yep.
It'd be through October. I mean, you have to almost go to the end of a month.
I think we're saying the same thing. Awesome.
Yeah, probably.
Can you affirm right now that you don't have any extra stable of horses or anything?
Any what?
Stable of
I
horses?
do not have a stable of horses.
I know what he's talking about.
I don't have
The
any
one
big
thing I did
campers.
note, though, I think it was when we were working with city manager, that I had read someplace in that process that sometimes they have an audit done when someone leaves. So it does happen on occasion, but
I'm sure it does, but I mean, I just, that's important to me.
I think it's a great idea, Wanda. I mean, in spite of the fact that you have our full faith and confidence, it's good to have an independent outside person
Yep.
just kind of making sure that all was done correctly.
Yep, exactly. So, all right, so then, all that being said, this is my last official meeting as your interim city manager. So I just want to take the opportunity to publicly thank all our department heads here. Every single one of them, when Chad left, came in and said, Wanda, anything I can do to help? And so I've called on some of them to help, and it's been much, much appreciated. So heartfelt thanks from me. And also a very special thank you to my office staff. Greg, who had just kind of started and was just trying to get his feet under him when this happened, has really stepped up. I've helped him out as my time has allowed. I went to the first few Board of Adjustment meetings and the P&Z meetings, and it was very clear that he did not need my help and to do that. He's just, I mean, it's been a challenge for him, and he's worked very hard. So he's worked at that real hard. And Carrie, bless her heart, if you remember when this first happened, we were down a payroll clerk. So Carrie basically did 2 jobs until we got somebody on board at the end of April. And not only did she do that, then she was really kind of tasked with doing all that training for that person. I didn't really help with that a whole lot, except if there was questions. And of course, then she has helped me as much as she can with other things. So a very special thank you to the 2 of you as well. So, and what else? So basically, actually, it's really been a team effort with everybody. I even had other staff members come in and say, hey, Wanda, anything you need. So I want the council to know that they can be very proud of and, should respect all their city staff because they are top-notch people. So
okay.
that's all I have.
Okay. Okay, department heads.
I've got a briefing in the Dropbox, but I wanted to publicly take the time to say thank you to everybody that helped us during the large-scale search operation that we had a couple weeks ago. We had residents from Decorah, from the county, from surrounding communities that came in and helped. We had multiple law enforcement agencies, Sheriff's Department, Police Department, EMA that helped out. At one point we had horses, kayaks, drones, pedestrians, and motor vehicles all involved at the same time in the search. We had sporting teams from the high school, sporting teams from Luther College that helped out. So just wanted to take the time to say thank you to everybody that put their lives on hold. We had one businessman downtown where we went in and we dropped off a flyer of the young man we were looking for. That businessman closed his doors and went out and started looking. And that's kind of what makes Decorah Decorah. So I wanted to say thank you. Secondly, We have some people asking about auctions, when we're gonna have a city auction. We're gonna plan to have a city auction September 22nd at 5:30. We're putting together items for that. We're gonna have, I think one of the shelters from the park is gonna be up for auction. Street Department has a number of signs they're gonna throw in the auction. We have bicycles, office furniture, kind of a run-of-the-mill.
Just a quick update on East Main Street. The water main is almost done. And so there's one block left of services and a little bit of storm sewer, and then the underground work will be complete. We'll start to see some grading and prep for paving. So that project's moving along well. As is the Pole Line Bridge. The deck was poured last week. We're working on the barrier rail this week and next. So, and then the pergola was installed at Dry Run Plaza last week as well. And we have a pre-con for the asphalt project. So moving right along, keeping
Very good. Anybody else? Okay, Randy,
This evening, Mayor.
how was your trip to St. Louis?
It was very interesting. A lot more than just putting up a building.
Yeah,
I did learn a lot. Just had a lot of fun too with it. But yeah, there's a lot of things that we got to think about that we haven't been. But fortunately,
This is in reference to a fire department.
yeah,
for
that's right.
for
That's
people
right.
who
You-
don't know what we're
Actually, it
talking
was you, and who else did you go with? And then,
with Chief Ashbacker, Jeff Odie, and Lee Bierke.
and then just state who it was. You have the title of it off the top of your head? Probably not, that's okay. It was dealing with,
Firehouse bill, or
Yeah.
emergency management building,
yep, there you go,
something like that.
yeah.
Because they also talk about police departments. But, yeah, it was everything from new construction to refurbishing. It was good to know, it was great having Jeff along because he's done a lot of work here. And it reaffirmed the work that he has done. So we are on the right track. Now we just gotta pull the pieces together and get it moving forward. in a
Right.
positive manner. But, yeah, it was interesting. looking
Good.
at Some of those older buildings, how they refurbished them, and some still have the haylofts in.
Okay.
That are used today for firehouses.
Well, I appreciate you guys going, because I know it was not just a one-day conference, but it was extremely timely. I know Brunton's has been here, and so it is moving some ahead, so. Okay, Emily,
The Sustainability Commission is continuing to move forward with recycling containers downtown. They're going to need to come to the council with some discussion about the pickup of the recycling containers, but they've been working with Rotocast. They've got some draft plans, so they should be to the council. My guess is either asking next meeting or the meeting after that.
yeah,
And then they are also hoping, when Travis gets here in October, to then chat more about communications plan and moving forward with that part of the sustainability plan. And then just a shout out to Winishi, to Decorah residents and certainly to Winishi County to get vaccinated. The Delta variant is strong and getting stronger in our area. And I talked to several physicians in the last several days who have expressed both exhaustion and exasperation and deep concern about the number of, or actually the lack of beds in both, Mayo and Gunderson and Iowa City and any large trauma hospital. There is nowhere to send our residents, and I think they're getting concerned. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to show up here soon
Good.
as well. But the number one thing we can do to help out our medical providers, to help out our hospital, and to help out our fellow citizens is get vaccinated. So please, if you're not vaccinated, please do so.
thank you. Andy,
Just to, echo what Chief said. It was amazing, the outpouring of support for our missing student, and working at the high school. It made for the longest first day of school in memory. But in my group alone, I had an Ocean volunteer firefighter. We had a girl who had literally just moved to the area to attend NICC, who had lived here for 3 days and was from the St. Louis area, and came and volunteered to help. And it was it wasn't just Decorah, it was Northeast Iowa, and everybody showed up, and it was reaffirmed why I live here and why I love this place.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
thanks to everybody again for helping out with that.
Thanks, Andy. Steve?
I wanted to reference my obscure comment to Wanda. There's a Netflix and YouTube, All the Queen's Horses, about the auditor in Dixon who managed to get $40 million away from the city
The city
over
clerk.
Is it-
Not the
20
auditor,
years.
The city
It is-
clerk.
it's
Yeah,
really a
pretty
heavy
quick
movie.
time.
Yep.
And it's a fascinating story. We've all been advised to look at it to see the importance of our fiduciary responsibilities. And so what Wanda's saying is she's not afraid at all of having such a thing because of her diligence and attention to the work she's done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you have a report from, this is like what, after 4 years, I'm starting to ask what people's reports are. SMID? Did you want to give any kind of a SMID report?
SMID did a discussion about finding downtown Decorah, following up on some of the downtown betterment discussions, what to look at. Our one topic for the last meeting was from the downtown betterment assess report was to look at the wayfinding. Some of the people do like the great big Decorah archway over the top. The report, the assessment suggested was consistency and not throwing a bunch of money at something.
Thanks. Steve?
Well, thanks, Wanda, for your work as our city manager. It's been really, really great. And I went to Dunning Spring for the first time in a while recently and noticed the new park features that are being added there, and just tip of the cap to our Parks Department. It's a really nice touch. The entrances to the trails, the new trail signs that are out in the park. It gives us a nice consistency, and it's welcoming, and it's wonderful. So I'll jump in line with Emily and just encourage people who are still on the fence to consider that there's now been a good year of lots and lots of people who've gotten these vaccines with very low incidence of side effects. A seminary colleague of mine died 2 days ago of COVID. He was 38 years old and fully vaccinated. He almost certainly caught it from someone who was not vaccinated. So that's a choice that we all get to make every day. And if you're not vaccinated, you can make a choice to stop making that choice. And then this was not a close friend of mine, so expressions of condolences aren't really appropriate. But it's someone that I know, and it's a real thing that happens to real people. And so we need to take it seriously. And the last thing, Mayor, I guess I just wanted to call attention to the owners of Roscoe's are here, and I just, in case they missed the opportunity to speak, with your permission, is there something that you wanted to address the council about, or you're just in attendance?
Okay.
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 Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay. Ross?
Yeah, the search was kind of awe-inspiring. I closed the store at regular time, hopped on my scooter, and now I can honestly say that I've been in every alley in East Decorah, because that was what I did. And so I have now seen the gravel and the potholes and and everything like that. I did not obviously find him, but I'm glad that he was found safe and sound, and just appreciate the volunteerism and community spirit. It was astounding. It's been very nice to have Luther back in session in a normal setting as much as possible, but I do appreciate people wearing masks if they do feel so inclined. Also about vaccinations. There is a telecommunications board meeting tomorrow night talking about fiber.
Time?
I think it's at 5.
5. if any of, I mean, I know we can't all show up.
I'll be taking my kid to college, so you're
All
good.
right, I'm planning to attend.
I think I'm gonna try and be there.
And so if anybody else is interested, as long as there's not 4 of us, I encourage you to attend. It's important, and I think we're getting there, close to having a fiber solution for Decorah. So that's very good. And kudos to the street department. We have a street committee meeting, very short here, right after this. But the projects this year have been very smooth, and we had two deductions that we just approved. Doesn't happen that often. You know, that's good work and estimation and good luck. But hopefully that continues. So thank you for everybody's hard work. And that's all I have.
Okay. I did get calls, or I talked to at least one person about the Folkadal parking lot discussion that we had. And I was amazed we didn't have more, whatever that means, and whatever you work with that, but I wanted to bring it forward. I know that there are some businesses that use that, but there's also other people that use that parking lot, and it, from the person's standpoint that, you know, we're always concerned about parking and then we don't continue to use it. I have also stated the monthly fee that we were paying, which was a little hard to work with. And there was a suggestion to try and have other people help pay for that as well. So, but I wanted to pass that on to the council, maybe other people that will come up and converse about that too, or maybe some of you have heard as well.
I've gotten also a few calls, and I have encouraged especially businesses to try to work with Folkadals on their own, right? I mean, if it is a hardship to their business, maybe there can be an arrangement between them as well and leave the city
So,
out of the middle.
and then I also, Wanda, I think it was after the beginning of the week when I had my first emergency command center thing. I didn't think I was going to have, that was the one thing I didn't have, but I thought, good. And then Sean called us on Saturday afternoon that the Lime Springs was flooding up there higher than it had been in 2008 or whatever.
2008.
And thinking that we should, you know, look ahead to see how we were going to do it. And both of us pulled out our blue folder, and I think all of you have the blue ring thing, to see what it was we needed to do. And he was extremely good about telling us about where it was. And thank goodness to Mother Nature. She was kind up there. They did not go up any higher, but both Juan and I were down here working with Sean on the phone, and Zach, just to know what we should do. So just in case, you know, I dust that folder out and know where it's at. If you would, I thought, oh, wow. So I was very happy. I did want to also just pass on, and this is a proclamation that comes from Kim Reynolds, and it's a proclamation for water and wastewater workers of Iowa Week. And the week is September 19th to the 25th. Whereas the state of Iowa's wealth of natural resources has been threatened by the degradation of surface and groundwater, and whereas water and wastewater workforce of Iowa have dedicated themselves to applying environmental passion and science to enhance drinking and recreational waters of Iowa, and whereas their applied environmentalism continues to be a vital element in improving the quality of life and preserving and protecting public health in our state and promoting sustainability in our way of living. I therefore, Kim Reynolds, Governor of the state of Iowa, do hereby proclaim September 19th through the 25th, 2021 as Water and Wastewater Workers Iowa Week. Thank you very much, Mike, and your company for all that you do. I think that's all that I have.
I have
Yeah.
just one little
Sure.
informational item.
Yeah,
And it's kind of based on Steve's question to the owners, the new owners of the Haymarket. So just in case new council people don't know, our past practice has been that anytime there's a new license, the licensee needs to be represented at the meeting that night. I suspect that's why they're here, because I told them they needed to be here. So that is just information
okay,
for you, that a new license, not renewals, just a new license.
okay.
Was the 16th the deadline for getting in applications for council race?
Yes, 5 o'clock.
And
Thursday,
then
September
also,
16th.
Friday, September 10th is the deadline for the city clerk
Yep.
financial officer.
Yep, at this point, you have one application.
Well, we'll wait till the end of
So we should make that announcement if anybody is interested in
Yeah, that's right.
trying to replace Wanda, the irreplaceable.
That's
You
correct.
can apply to be the Decorah city clerk.
Okay, anything else? Okay, move for adjournment. Thank you.